What's up, my brothers? It is November 1st, 2020. I made a video yesterday regarding this, but I just didn't feel like it was polished enough, so I'm remaking it today. Brothers, I'm not going to be talking about football, the Cowboys, sports in general. I'm just going to be talking to you guys about straight up politics, my political views, my policy positions, and who I think is going to win on November 3rd in a couple of days, in 2 days. So that's what I'm going to be going over in this video. Now, how will I start? At first, I'm just going to go over my thoughts and where I go on certain policy positions. First, let's start off with, let's go ahead and go with gun control. When it comes to gun control, I am just straight up, I am straight up Second Amendment. I don't think there should be any limitations on what you can own. If you want to own a bazooka, a rocket launcher, whatever, you can own it. No limits on ammunition, none of that. As long as you're not mentally unstable or criminal, you should be able to own whatever the hell you want. It doesn't matter. No limitations on anything. Ammunition, type of weapon, nothing. That's my belief. You should be able to own whatever the fuck you want. As long as you don't have a criminal record or you're not mentally unstable. You should be able to own whatever the hell you want. Okay, let's go over, that's gun control. Let's do the death penalty. When it comes to the death penalty, I believe it should stay around. I do not believe it should be abolished. Some people are in favor of abolishing the death penalty. I'm not. I think some people are just beyond rehabilitation. Some people are just TFG, too far gone, and they gotta go. I am not in favor of like a serial killer or a terrorist that killed a lot of people. They should be put on the death penalty. The reason why I say that, because I do not want taxpayer dollars going to someone's living expenses and their food. I don't want taxpayer dollars going to that. I don't want this person to be living on the taxpayer's dole when they've committed heinous criminal acts against humanity. They gotta go. They're beyond rehabilitation. They have to go. Now, some people argue that the death penalty, it actually like kills the wrong people. Some people are actually innocent, and that's quite unfortunate. Now, I do believe we have to clean that up a bit. We can't be killing innocent people, but I do believe, for the most part, we get the right people, and those people have to go. They don't need to be here anymore. They're beyond rehabilitation, and I'm not in favor of taxpayer money going to their sustenance. Fuck that. I don't want them, no. So that's the death penalty. Let's talk about marijuana legalization. Marijuana legalization, I'm in favor of legalizing marijuana. But I do believe some of you brothers out there, you need to lay off the fucking weed. I believe marijuana, it clouds your judgment. It eats away at your motivation and drive. And it just keeps you in this sort of stasis, if you will. And I honestly don't believe the average man can progress by smoking marijuana or indulging frequently with marijuana. But I do believe it should be legal. I don't see how it's more harmful than alcohol. There's just no studies there's anecdotal evidence and just studies, just scientific studies show that it's less harmful than alcohol. There's no reason why it should be illegal. It should be legal. Healthcare. I do believe healthcare is a fundamental human right. It should be free for everyone, free of charge. I think it's utterly insane that you have to depend on working a full-time job to have coverage. And I think it's fucking odd that you have to pay for health insurance. That's fucking weird. I believe everyone should have free healthcare. Medicare for all, it should be for everyone. It's a fundamental human right. That's just my belief. Especially in the time that we're living in right now, during a pandemic. You got people having exorbitant hospital bills because they're recovering from a virus that they had no control over. Like, they had no control over that. Nothing. So you're going to make them pay exorbitant hospital bills? That's bullshit. That's unfair. And Medicare should be free for everyone. I mean, healthcare should be free for everyone, free of charge. We live in a post-industrialized nation. And you mean to tell me we have to pay a middleman, an insurance company? We have to work a full-time job, be miserable, just to get health care? That's ludicrous. We should abolish that. Health care for everyone is a fundamental human right. That's just my opinion. Now, I will say this. Elective surgeries, like breast implants, or if you're a transgender person and you want to, get that and stuff like that, that should come out of your own pocket. Elective surgeries, that should come out of your own pocket. Nose jobs, stuff like that. The taxpayer shouldn't have to pay for that. That is bullshit. But everything else, everyone should get free health care. That's just my opinion. Let's see. Abortion. I don't feel too strongly either way about abortion, but if I had to lean one way, if you put a gun to my head and told me to make a choice, I would say abortion should be legal. It should. To me, in my honest opinion, it's up to the woman. And to be quite honest, if a woman, if she even has thoughts of killing her baby or getting rid of it, she's not fit to be a mother anyway. If those thoughts are creeping up into your mind, you're not fit to be a mother anyway. So I'm not going to force a woman who isn't fit to be a mother to become a mother. I'm not doing that. And plus, we have a lot of fucked up individuals in the world anyway, and more than likely, statistics show that the child that we force this woman to have is going to be fucked up. More than likely, the father isn't around, and the mother is unfit to raise the child. Now, of course, a lot of people say you can, go the adoption route, but we have way too many orphans out here. And to be quite honest, the statistics show that a lot of orphans out here, they aren't doing too hot either. I think if a woman wants to get rid of a child, let her do it. I mean, that's just my opinion. Now, me personally, I'm just, and I know a lot of men out here, they're totally against it. They feel like they should have a say in it. Brothers, no. It's the woman's body, it's her choice, and it's on you anyway. You should inseminate and impregnate a woman who wants to have your child. If a woman doesn't want to have your child, don't force her to. Don't force a woman to do anything in this world. Ever. Ever. If she doesn't want it, okay, let her get rid of it. You move on with your life, and you get with a woman who's willing to have your children. Never force the issue on a woman. Ever. Ever. So that covers abortion. Immigration. Now, when it comes to immigration, I'm pretty sure the vast majority of people are in favor of legal immigration. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's no reasonable person out there that's saying we should just cut off the world entirely. We should be just strictly isolationist. I don't think that's reasonable. People coming here the legal way, I'm always in favor of that. But when it comes to legal immigration, I will say this. We should lock down. We should strongly secure our borders and lock shit down. I honestly believe that. But when you look at studies and statistics, it shows that most illegal immigrants come over here by plane. So that means we have to do a better job of making sure, when these people come over here, we have to make sure that if they're on a visa, their visa runs out, they got to get out. But I will say this. If an illegal immigrant is paying their taxes, their sales taxes and all that other shit, if they're paying their taxes, they have a family over here, they're not a criminal, they don't have any criminal history, I can turn the other cheek. I honestly can. I can turn the other cheek. But I will say this. You fuck up once. I don't care how light the charge is. You got to go. Because if you come over, you're already over here illegally. If you're going to come over here illegally, you better be on your best behavior. Everything better be pristine about you. If you fuck up once, you got to go. I don't care about breaking up your family. You better be on your best behavior when you're over here. You already over here legally, man. You don't get the same amount of chances, the same rights as natural born citizens get here. As natural citizens, you don't get that. Sorry. That's just the way it is. But will I turn the... I do not believe in granting amnesty. I do not believe in that. But if a person is not siphoning benefits that United States citizens are entitled to, as long as they're not siphoning benefits from that, as long as they're not criminals, they're doing what they're supposed to do, I can turn the other cheek. I most certainly can, but I will not grant amnesty. I won't do that. Let's see. What else? What else? I've covered abortion. I've covered, when it comes to free college, I am not in favor of free college. I believe, now I will say this, if you want a promising career in like a profession or something like that, sometimes you need a degree, you need a specialized degree, but that's on you. If that's up to you, if you want to pursue that field, you have to come up with the way to pay for that. You have to do that. I don't think the taxpayer dollar should go to your higher education. No, that is a personal choice. It's almost like the elective surgeries for free healthcare. I do not believe elective surgeries should be covered under that. And I also don't believe higher education should be covered. No, hell no. My wife and I, we both have our bachelor's degrees, and we're paying off the loans. We're paying both our loans off. So if we're doing that, you can do that. Pursuing higher education is a personal choice. It's up to you to cover that cost. It's not up to the taxpayer. And plus, college is not for everyone. It's not. So I do not believe in free college. No, I'm not down for that at all. What else? I've covered quite a few things. Law enforcement. When it comes to law enforcement, now, brothers, I'm not one of those back the blue type people. I'm not. I honestly do not trust the police. I've never trusted the police. Never will. I will never trust the police. But I will say this, though. I'm not in favor of defunding them. I'm not. I will never be in favor of defunding them or curtailing anything about their funding. No. I believe the police force, law enforcement, they are a necessary force in this country, in the world in general. I'm not going to say necessary evil, because I believe the vast majority of people in law enforcement, they try to do the right thing. I do believe they're a necessary force. If someone was banging down my door, I'm going to call the police. If you're walking down the street and you notice someone following you and there's anarchy, who are you going to call? If there's no police, if we're in a state of anarchy, police are defunct, who are you going to call when you notice someone following you? So when you need them, they're there. And I do believe they should be there. And I don't believe they should be defunded at all. Now, I do believe a certain training. A lot of cops are, some of the cops that I've come across, a lot of them are mentally inept. I'm just being really honest, that a lot of them lack the mental capacity to do their jobs correctly. So I do believe IQ tests need to be administered. I do believe psychological tests need to be administered. And I also believe training needs to be more intense and rigorous. I do believe that. But when it comes to defunding, nah. I think we should, add more funding. We should bring in more funding for the police so they can get the correct training and so they can get the correct tests so they can filter out some of these bad apples. And also, brothers, when it comes to law enforcement, if you move with a purpose, you don't have to worry about the cops. 9 times out of 10, if you move with a purpose and you do what you're supposed to do out in this world, you don't have to worry about the police fucking with you. You don't have to worry about that. Now, there are times, there are occasions, and they're rare, but there are occasions where, like, you do the right thing, you're minding your business, you're moving with a purpose, and a rogue cop still wants to fuck with you, It happens. And it doesn't only happen to black people. It happens to everybody. White people too. White people aren't safe from the cops, from a road cop. They're not. I'm just being real with you. They're not. Now, we're more likely to be targeted disproportionately, black people. But white people aren't safe either. They're not. So, but for the most part, no matter what race you are, if you move with a purpose, the cops aren't going to fuck with you. Racial inequality. Now, brothers, when it comes to racial inequality, do I believe in white privilege? No. I believe in white rulership. I believe whoever is in power, they make the rules. So when it comes to the West, like the United States and Western Europe and stuff like that, Australia, New Zealand, white people are in power. They create the rules. If you're in rulership, you make the rules. And a lot of minorities, if you don't like that, you either go to a country where you're the predominant race or ethnic group, you move there, or you create your own. That's my thoughts. When it comes to white people in power would do what anybody would do if they're in power. If black people were in power, if I was in power, I would empower black men just like me. That's what I would do. It's natural. It's within us. A lot of people like to complain about racism all the time, but human beings are a tribalistic species by nature. That's what got us through. Like, to be quite honest, we're tribalistic and racist by nature. You will never get rid of racism. And there's no such thing as equality. Either you rule or you follow. That's what you do. So everybody complain about racism and inequality and stuff like that. There will never be equality. And if you're the predominant race, you make the rules. That's what it is. If you don't like that, you go somewhere else or you build your own. I'm just being logical with you guys. So bitching about racial inequality and racism and all this stuff, it's not going to get you anywhere. It won't. It won't get you anywhere. And when you look at other societies, like if you look at the Asian communities in the United States, you don't ever hear them complain about anything when it comes to race. You don't hear them complaining about politics or race. You want to know why? Because they rule themselves, they put themselves first, and they build from within. They rule themselves, they put themselves first, and they build from within. They don't care about the white man. They don't care about racism or politics. They do their own thing. They built their own. When you see all these Chinatowns and stuff like that, that's ran by them. That isn't ran by white people. That's ran by them. Just imagine if black people did the same thing. You know, instead of begging for acceptance and begging for, equality, which will never exist, build your own. And if someone destroyed your shit, build it again. Focus on your own, build from within. And you won't ever have to worry about racism. And a lot of black people want respect from the other races. You will never gain respect from the other races begging for equality. You will never gain their acceptance or respect. Ever. You don't beg for anything. People see you as weak when you beg. If you want respect from the other races, do your own shit. Show them that you don't need them. When blacks show other groups that they don't need them or want their acceptance, black people they're respected. When you look at Michael Jordan is one of the most respected athletes in the world. He's like, I don't need white people. I do my own thing. Black people who don't beg for acceptance will get respect from the other races. It's just inherent. You respect someone more when you know that they don't need you. It's like your children. You respect your children more when they move out of the house, when they build their own, when they raise their own families. You respect them more. Same thing goes with black people or other disenfranchised minority groups. So when it comes to racial inequality, fuck all that dumb shit. Who gives a fuck? White people are in power. You accept that. You accept it by moving on to a different country where your ethnic group is in power, or you build your own, just like the Chinese, or just like any other Asian community, the Japanese, the Koreans. They do their own thing. They build from within, and they protect their own. We need to do the same as black people. Okay, so I think I've covered most important policy positions, or big policy things in this country. Now, when it comes to where my political, like where I stand on the political compass, I've taken the political compass test many times throughout my life. When I was in my late teens, early 20s, I was super liberal. I'm not gonna lie, I was super liberal. I was far left, brothers. If you met me during that time, I would be unrecognizable. If you met me during that time, I've made significant gains during that time. I'm not super left anymore. I would describe myself as a little left of center. That's what I would describe myself as. But when I was younger, I was super, super left. Super left. My voting record, I wasn't able to vote in 2008 because I was 17. Of course, the election was in November of 2008, and I turned 18 in February the following year. So I was just a couple months off, but I couldn't vote in 2008. 2012, I was sucked into the whole Democratic, plantation. I was a Barack Obama supporter through and through. Blue no matter who. I was that type of guy. I really was. I was so sucked into the Democratic establishment, just as a lot of black people are. I was sucked into that, and I voted for Barack Obama. In 2016, I broke away from that. I voted third party. And I voted this year, I voted a couple days ago, and I voted third party again. And brothers, the reason why I vote third party is because neither political party, Democrat or Republican, has my best interest at heart. They don't care about my views. That's why I can't support either one. When it comes to Joe Biden, Joe Biden is the architect of the crime bill that locked away a lot of black men during the 90s. I can't support that. I can't get behind him. Fuck him. Fuck Joe Biden. He's been in politics for over 40 years. A lot of the shit that he's got done, he really hasn't done much. He's a career politician. For him to be a career politician, he hasn't really done much. But the things that he has done, they've been deleterious to people like me. So fuck him. He's not in favor of universal health care. I can't vote for him off of that either. Like, he's the architect of the crime bill. He doesn't support universal health care. He's not in favor of legalizing marijuana. I can't support someone who I don't see eye to eye with. And I don't see eye to eye with Joe Biden, and plus I think he's a scumbag. Fuck him. The reason why I cannot get behind Donald Trump is because I almost voted for Trump back in 2016 because I liked the way he attacked Hillary Clinton, which I believe is one of the worst politicians ever. Fuck Hillary Clinton. The way he attacked her, I was like, damn, I love this. This dude is on it. The way he was talking about jobs being lost to outsourcing in the Rust Belt, the Midwest, I was like, damn, I can get behind this. When he was talking about the endless wars, he was like ending the endless wars. I was like, damn, I can get behind that. I'm not in favor of United States imperialism abroad. I'm not in favor of that. I'm not in favor of endless wars. And he was talking about ending this. And I almost voted for him. But I can't get behind him now because he's fully sucked into the Republican plantation. He's a standard Republican. He didn't end any of the wars. He tried to hold the American populace at large hostage, and he was trying to hold us hostage, saying that he wasn't going to approve stimulus checks until after the election. I was like, nah, fuck you, man. Like, he did that. He didn't end any of the wars. He didn't stop outsourcing. He actually, increased outsourcing jobs outside of the United States. I was not in favor of that. He became a standard Republican, and I can't get behind him on that. I just can't. I'm sorry. When I don't see eye to eye, and the thing is, like, I'm not asking for a politician to do everything that I ask for. But motherfucker, at least meet me on one or two issues. Like Donald Trump didn't legalize marijuana. Why he didn't do that? He didn't give anybody health care. He didn't do that. He didn't end the wars. He didn't do that. You can't do that, bro. You don't get my vote. Fuck that. And brothers, and when it comes to the Democratic and Republican Party, a lot of black people are stuck on that Democratic plantation, and I'm like, bro, it's time for you to get off. And there are some brothers that do that, but they lose me when they go to the Republican Party. I'm like, brother, you left one plantation for the other. You're not enlightened going to the Republican Party. You're just as lost. Republicans let you know up front that they don't like you. Democrats pretend to like you when all you are is at the lowest of the totem pole. If you're a black heterosexual man in the United States, you are on the lowest of the totem pole when it comes to the Democratic Party. When it comes to the Republican Party, you're not even on the fucking totem pole to begin with. So fuck both of them. They ain't shit. And I'm not voting for either one. I didn't vote for either one. Straight up third party. Sorry. That's how it is. Now, when it comes to my thoughts on who's going to win the election, I believe Joe Biden, if you look at all the polls, the recent polls, Joe Biden is up big. And to be quite honest, the polls show that Biden has a better chance of winning in a landslide than Trump eking out a win. Let me say that again. The polls show that there's a better chance that Biden will win in a landslide than Trump actually eking out the election. Looking at the recent polling data, it's very hard for Donald Trump to win this election. It really is. And the thing is, it's mostly his fault. Donald Trump should have won this. He should be up big. Because Joe Biden is his brain is melting before our eyes. This dude is clearly suffering from dementia. He's fucking demented out there. They have to put him on uppers to get him going during the debates and rallies. They have to put him on uppers. They have to drug him up. Now, of course, I know they drug up Donald Trump as well, but not to the degree that they do with Joe Biden. They're clearly drugging him to get him out there. I don't think when Joe Biden wins, I don't think he's going to be there for the entire 8 years. And Kamala Harris, that fucking scumbag, she's going to be president. She's next in line. You know, when she was the Attorney General of California, she was talking about locking up parents of truant students. Really? What kind of shit is that? Students who are truant, they come from poverty, broken homes, and you want to lock up their parents on top of that? This fucking scumbag Kamala Harris could possibly be president because Joe Biden isn't going to last the entire 4 or 8 years. But Trump, the reason why he lost this election is because his stances on the pandemic were just unpopular. When he's talking about like, oh, at first he was like, it doesn't exist. Then he was like, it does exist, but it's not a big deal. And then he was caught on tape saying that, oh shit, it's a big deal, but I don't want to scare the populace, so I'm going to downplay it. And then he ended up catching it. Talking about no masks, none of this, none of that. The way he mishandled COVID played into his downfall. And then also, like, not putting out stimulus. Like, the thing is, I know it's up to the House and the Senate to, like, get him these bills. But the thing is, you're the president, man. You need to force these politicians to get you this shit. You need to support the American people. If Donald Trump mandated that everyone wear masks, he gave everyone free health care, and he gave people who lost their jobs through no fault of their own stimulus checks, he would be up big right now. But he fucked it all up. And then on top of that, he's calling Joe Biden, you know, a Marxist, super liberal, socialist. Listen, man, Joe Biden is many things, but he's not no super leftist. He's the architect of the fucking crime bill. He's too tough on crime, to be quite honest with you. And then you're going to say he's he's part of Antifa, not tough on crime, when he was the architect of the crime bill, that doesn't stick. Calling him a super liberal Marxist socialist is not going to stick. He governs like a Republican. Joe Biden is Republican light. He's Republican light. That's what he is. And you're going to call him a socialist? That doesn't stick, bruh. That doesn't stick. Donald Trump fucked himself over. He should be winning big, but instead he's going to lose big, more than likely. I do believe Joe Biden is going to win the election. To be quite honest, I don't give a fuck who wins the election. They're not good for me, and I didn't vote for them. Just being real. Brothers, but I'm going to cut this. This video is going on way too long. I'm going to cut this off. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section. If I threw you a curveball, let me know. If if my views were like what you expected, like let me know. Or if I'm just like, holy shit, I'm just, everywhere all over the place, let me know. Let me know. Brothers, this is probably going to be the only video I make on politics. Of course, I want to just keep it sports, football, Dallas Cowboys. But if you guys like this type of content, if you like me veering off of sports and talking about certain things like this, let me know in the comments section. All right, brothers. Peace. I'm out. See y'all later.